Hello viewers, today is Tuesday, November 5th, 2024. Today is the election day. It's around 4 p.m. USA Eastern Time. Polls are going to close in the next 2 or 3 hours, one by one from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. So today I would like to look at the Electoral College tally and my projections. I'm going to look at each and every battleground state and see exactly where we are at and who is going to win tonight. So I'm going to make those projections on each one of those battleground states. I just wanted to inform you that I'm making these projections based on the numbers I've looked at on the early voting, based on the polls that I trust, and based on some anecdotal evidence, based on what happened in 2022 midterms. So I'm looking at a wide variety of factors and my gut feeling, and I'm going to call each one of those states one by one. So let's go ahead into the presentation. There we go. This is our baseline today. We have Republicans, meaning Donald Trump, winning 219 electoral college votes. Nobody has any kind of doubts on that. These are the traditional states that the Republicans normally win. And then, in terms of the Democrats, their tally will be 226. And then we have these 7 battleground states. That's a total of 93 electoral college votes. So we have these 7 battleground states. We're going to call each one of them one by one based on my thought process and based on my opinion and based on whatever analysis I have done on early voting and the historical voting trend and voting record. So I'm just calling one by one. So first, let's look at the state of Arizona. Arizona has got 11 electoral college votes. This is a state of Barry Goldwater, John McCain. The major population center is Maricopa County. But if you guys remember, 3-4 weeks ago, I said, take a look at the returns from the Yuma County. This is the largest Hispanic populated county in the state of Arizona. And if you are political junkies and you want to do this, keep an eye on this Yuma County. If Kamala Harris is able to do as well as Joe Biden or even better than Joe Biden in Yuma County, then that will bode well not only for this state, but also the neighboring state of Nevada. So I'll keep an eye out on this county, but the Maricopa County is the major county. It's a major population center, and that's where the most of the battle is being fought. So for the state of Arizona, on the next slide, I'm going to make my projection. I am saying that the state of Arizona will go to Donald J. Trump. And in fact, I am even putting my foot on the line to say that the margin will also be greater than or equal to 25,000 votes in favor of Donald Trump. I'm making these so that we can go back and look at the actual result to see exactly whether I was correct or I was completely wrong. So this will also give us a chance to go back and look at how he performed. So if he gets those 11 electoral college votes, Donald Trump will get to 230, Kamala Harris will be at 226, and the too close to call tally will be reduced from 93 to 82. So when all is said and done, I am saying that Arizona will go to Donald J. Trump. That's my call. And let's see how it pans out later on tonight or tomorrow, depending on when they call after the votes are all tallied. So moving on to the next state, the state of Nevada, 6 electoral college votes. Again, this is a state where the Clark County is a place where most of the population is. And this is a place where the Democrats tend to do well. This is also due to the fact that the Harry Reid Democratic machine will bring their voters from Clark County. That has been the tradition all along. So this is another state with this time it has got 6 electoral college votes, and this is a crucial electoral college votes as well. If someone can pick up the state between Kamala Harris and Donald J. Trump, they will be happy because they can afford to lose one of the smaller states if they win this state. Nevertheless, let me go ahead and go to the next slide to look at my projection for the state of Nevada. Yeah, here I'm saying I cannot make up my mind. This is going to be a too close to call state. And at this point, at around 4 p.m. Eastern time on election day, I'm saying that I cannot make a call on this state. 10 days ago, I said that this is going to go to Donald J. Trump. But in the last 1 week or so, and there were a lot of reports that has come out to say that there are a lot of independents who are trending towards the Democrats, towards Kamala Harris, that is, and that might make the race closer. And also the latest polls from reputed pollsters say it's too close to call. And since I don't have much information other than that, I am not very confident of calling the state for Donald J. Trump. But I do believe that it is leaning towards Donald J. Trump, but it's a tie from my view. So the Electoral College tally remains the same, 230 for Donald J. Trump, 226 for Kamala Harris, and 82 Electoral College votes are too close to call, including the state of Nevada. And moving on, Georgia. Georgia has got 16 Electoral College votes. This is a state that was a big surprise in 2020 when Joe Biden won the state by around 10,000, 11,000 odd votes. It's a traditionally Republican state. It's a big red state. The big population centers, however, around Fulton, DeKalb, Clayton, Gwinnett, all these counties vote for the Democrats. Those are the huge population centers. But nevertheless, this has been a red state for so long. So let's go and look at my projection for the state of Georgia. Again, in the state of Georgia, I am not able to predict who can win. I am not able to say that it's going to be either Donald J. Trump or Kamala Harris. However, I am able to say that whoever wins, they are going to win by a margin of 25,000 or more. But the key here is I'm not able to see exactly who is that person, because on the one hand, you have a huge gender advantage in favor of Kamala Harris. But on the other hand, you look at all those red counties, they have come out in huge numbers. And so I'm not able to really make up to say that this state is going one way or the other. But I do believe that the margin will be greater than 25,000 because whoever is picking up these votes, the late deciders, I think it will go one way as opposed to getting a split between the two. So again, the Electoral College tally, 230 versus 226 with 82 tie. 82 Electoral College votes are too close to call. Then moving on, let's go to the great state of North Carolina. Again, another very reliable state for the Republicans in terms of the presidential elections. Yes, Democrats do win some governorships. Occasionally, they won the presidential elections as well. Barack Obama won that in 2008. And also they had a senator that got elected the same time in 2008. Before that, you have John Edwards from the state of North Carolina as a senator. But nevertheless, this is again a state that's inherently Republican for presidential elections, but Democrats are giving a very tough fight. And that's because of the Research Triangle Park. You have this Durham area. That's where they get the most of their votes. I did do a program yesterday about the state in detail. Take a look at this Alamance, Granville, and Franklin today. If you want to look at how these counties are going to vote. That will determine the fate of Kamala Harris, and also what is the margin in this Research Triangle Park for Kamala Harris. That will determine the race as well. Nevertheless, let's move on and look at my projection for the state of North Carolina. State of North Carolina, from my view, it's going to go to Donald J. Trump, and he's going to pick up the 16 crucial electoral college votes. And the margin here, I believe, is going to be greater than or equal to 40,000. I know a lot of people were thinking that Democrats will pick up the state, and this would have been a huge news tonight. But in my view, since this is inherently a Republican state, I think the margin will get reduced, but Donald Trump is going to pick up the state of North Carolina and its 16 electoral college votes, according to my projection. And that will take Donald Trump to 246. Donald will get to 246, and Kamala Harris is at 226, and still we have 66 electoral college votes that are too close to call. So that's where we are now after North Carolina. Let's move on to the next state. The state of Wisconsin, it has got 10 electoral college votes. Remember, Wisconsin voted for Trump in 2016 against Hillary by around 20,000 odd votes, and voted for Joe Biden in 2020, again by a margin of 20,000 votes. So this is again a very, very heavily contested state. And again here, Democrats do very well in the Milwaukee County. That's where they get most of their votes, and then they win the Dane County, the Madison area. So these are the two big counties where they basically run up their numbers, because all these rural counties are going to vote for Trump in larger numbers. One thing to look out for tonight is how Waukesha is going to vote. There are some who believe that Democrats have made some inroads on a very reliable Republican state. They're thinking that they can pick up 4 or 5 points from here. They might not be able to win, but they can reduce the margin of Donald Trump by 4 to 6 points, is what the Democratic operatives are saying in Waukesha County, and Jefferson, the same thing. And also, I believe Columbia is also kind of a state that a county that Democrats are targeting. And so it'll be interesting to see how this pan out. By the way, Milwaukee is going to report their numbers at probably the fag end of their counting process in the state of Wisconsin. So you are going to see Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to be leading for most part of the night tonight. And once the Milwaukee votes get dumped, then you will see the difference. And I don't know whether it will be a significant difference, but nevertheless, this is a county where Democrats do very, very well, especially in Milwaukee City. They're probably running the score to 92.6 or 93.5, something like that. So that's so huge in that county. So wait till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. when you see the numbers from Milwaukee, then you can make a determination. But nevertheless, I have made the determination and I have made the call. Let's go to the next slide to see what I have done. I am calling Wisconsin's 10 electoral college votes will go to Kamala Harris. And I'm also calling the margin to be greater than or equal to 25,000 votes. So I believe that Democrats are in a better shape in Milwaukee. I looked at the early votes. I looked at their past historical voting trends. I had some anecdotal evidence from people on the ground. And Dane County is going to come up huge for Kamala Harris. And Milwaukee is going to also come out huge for Kamala Harris. And my belief is that the suburban women are going to help her in Waukesha, Columbia, Jefferson. So she's going to just pick up 1 or 2 extra percentage points better than Biden on those counties. And so I'm confident that the margin will also be greater than 25,000. That means she is going to do better than the margin that Joe Biden got in 2020. So that leaves us with 246 for Trump, 236 for Kamala Harris, and we have 56 electoral college votes that are yet to be called because it's too close to call. Now, moving on, let's go to the state of Michigan. Michigan has 15 electoral college votes. Again, this is a state that Trump won against Hillary by around, I think it was around 20,000 or around that range. And but Joe Biden won against Donald Trump by close to around 144,000 odd votes. So Democrats would like to pick up this state. Again, they're going to look at their Detroit and the suburbs. There were quite a bit of concern about the Arab American votes in Dearborn, Michigan, the suburbs of the Detroit area. But some Democrats feel that they are confident and that this state will come through for them. Still, it is a very close race, but let's go ahead and look at my projection. In the state of Michigan, I am projecting that the 15 electoral college votes will go to Kamala Harris. And not only that, I'm saying that the margin will be greater than or equal to 75,000 votes. And so Kamala Harris will get the crucial 15 electoral college votes from the great state of Michigan. And if you look at the tally now, Donald Trump will be at 246, Kamala Harris is at 251, and we have 41 electoral college votes that are too close to call. And then we have only one state to go in this presentation, which is the state of Pennsylvania, the mother of all battleground states. Pennsylvania, as I said, it's the mother of all battleground states, 19 electoral college votes, very crucial. Both parties fought very hard. As a matter of fact, Kamala Harris was there yesterday and she had 3 events. She capped it off in the middle of the night. Her last event in Philadelphia. That's what the Democrats do when they really need to mobilize their voters. They have this huge event in the city of Philadelphia. They bring out their best crowd in there and to mobilize their base and to get re-energized. And they did accomplish that. I was watching that last night. And so this is a very, very crucial state for the Democrats as well as the Republicans. If the Republicans lose this state, it will be difficult for Donald Trump to win the presidency. He knows that. And let's look at the area. Democrats do very well here. Philadelphia County. They also do well in Montgomery, Bucks, Chester, Delaware. This is where they get most of their votes. So if you look at the historical numbers, Hillary Clinton won the Philadelphia County by 475,000 votes. That's the margin that she had. In fact, Joe Biden, with the increased voter turnout, was able to win only by a margin of 471,000 last time. That was a 4,000 votes less than what Hillary got. But Joe Biden had a much higher voter turnout, but still he couldn't beat Hillary's number. So this Philadelphia County is so crucial. And my belief and my opinion is, as of today, Kamala Harris is very likely to beat the Hillary Clinton's margin. Her margin in Philadelphia will touch 500,000 is my assumption, my belief. And then Trump has got a hell of a lot of support in Butler, around all these other areas, and he has gotten all these voters pumped up, and they have been showing up, and they are voting. That is why it's a very, very close election in Pennsylvania. But at the end of the day, the big question is, will the suburban women pull Kamala Harris over the line? That's a big question. So the national media and the cable news networks are reluctant to call this for anyone. They keep saying it's too close to call. And the polls also suggested with a slight lead to Kamala Harris. So let's look at the next slide to see whom I am projecting as the winner. I am projecting Kamala Harris to pick up the 19 crucial Electoral College votes in the state of Pennsylvania, and Kamala Harris is going to be the next president of the United States. She will become the first woman president, the first Asian American president, the first African American woman president. She will win the state of Pennsylvania, and she will win by a minimum margin of 75,000 votes. And that is my projection. I stand by my numbers. If I am wrong, I am more than happy to do a program tomorrow or day after once we get all the results and look at each one of these states. And I am more than willing to accept my mistakes if I had made any mistakes. So that's it. We have 22 too close to call electoral college votes, 6 in Nevada and 16 in the state of Georgia. Again, the state of Georgia, I was going to give it to Donald Trump, but then I looked at some of the numbers today from the state of Georgia, the election day. It looks like Democrats are also doing well there, and I cannot really make up my mind on state of Georgia. And then in the state of Nevada, I had already mentioned that it is very close, even though Republicans had an edge just a week ago. So that is it. Kamala Harris, according to me, will become the next president of the United States. And this must have been an historic victory if she does win. She had only 107 days to put together a campaign, to put together some kind of a policy proposal, and to energize the base and to talk to the American people. And she was not very well known, even though she was a vice president. And if this turns out to be true, I'm quite confident with my projections. If she does become the president of the United States, it's a monumental task that she had achieved, and I think she would be very proud of her at the end of this whole process. So let's look at now that I have projected that Kamala Harris will become the president of the United States. Let's look at what are the main issues that helped her. From my view, if Kamala Harris is the president of the United States or becomes the president of the United States after today or tomorrow, she just has to send a thank you letter to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court handed over this presidency to the Democrats by actually overturning Roe v. Wade. I think if you look at the end of this whole process, if you look at the numbers, if you look at the exit polls later on today, that's going to come after 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you will see that the women has voted overwhelmingly for Kamala Harris. They did not like the way that that the Supreme Court got involved in the Roe v. Wade decision. And you have to remember that each one of those justices had voted to overturn Roe v. Wade during the confirmation hearings in the Senate. They said they will follow stare decisis. That means respect to the president. Stare decisis. That's a legal term they use. So they always said that, each one of them said that they will respect the president. Roe v. Wade was the president, and they touched a Pandora's box by overturning Roe v. Wade. And in the second consecutive elections, Republicans are going to lose because of that. In 2020 midterms, the Republicans could not capture the Senate, even though they had a very good opportunity to do that. And they were supposed to pick up House by around 30-40 seats margin. They did not. They barely got the majority in the US House. So in the next election, which is this election, it looks like the suburban women from Philadelphia, Detroit, Milwaukee, Atlanta area, Raleigh-Durham area, even in red states, you will see this. Even in red states, you will see. Look at Houston, the suburbs of Houston, Texas. Look at the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Look at Austin and its suburbs. Look at those numbers today at the end of this whole counting process. You will see for sure that the woman has voted for Kamala Harris. They have propelled Kamala Harris to become the next president of the United States. Again, these are my projections. These are my thoughts. I could completely go wrong. If I do go wrong, I will come and apologize to you guys. But I am quite confident with what's going on the ground. I've seen this script before. I have analyzed this multiple times, and I'm quite confident with my projections. I do believe Kamala Harris will become the next president of the United States. Let's look at the numbers now. In another couple of hours or 2-3 hours, they will start giving you the raw data. We don't have to look at early voting alone. In another 3 hours, we will see some raw data that comes out of the each and every state, starting from Georgia, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Ohio and whatnot. So let's wait for those numbers. But nevertheless, from my view, Kamala Harris will become the next president of the United States. That's it for today. I'll come back to you with another episode if there is something interesting happening tonight, or I will come back to you with another episode in the morning tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye.